Hey everybody, what's up? It's Ryan Grease from the Loop Loft, and in this video we're going to talk about MIDI drum loops. I've received a lot of questions about how do I easily work with MIDI loops. I'm using Logic, I'm using GarageBand or Pro Tools, and the answer is it's super easy. To get started, all you need to do is load up a software track in your DAW. Since we're in Logic 10, I'm using their new drummer feature, which is basically a software instrument that has a sampled drum kit. And once you have a software instrument open, you literally just drag and drop the MIDI loops into the session, and it'll trigger whatever software instrument is on that track. So right now we've got two different loops that I brought in from our funk MIDI loop collection. But let's say we want to kind of create a different arrangement, and I'll show you how to quickly do that. Let me stop this, delete these out, and let's just find something that's kind of a really basic pattern that we can build a song around. Drop this in and see what it sounds like. Cool, so that's nice and solid backbeat, not too many busy ghost notes going on for the song I might have in mind. So if you want to make an arrangement, normally it's an 8-bar thing or 16 bars of an intro or a verse. So what you would want to do is to kind of quickly get your song structure created is highlight the loop and just drag it. Let's say we want to make an 8-bar phrase. So we've got 7 bars of groove. Oops, 7. And then we want to look for a fill. So let's look in the folder here, and you'll see any of the files that have an F on the file name indicate that it's a fill. So let's throw a fill on there, and let's just take a listen to that fill to make sure it works. So cool, it's just a very simple fill, but nice for a turnaround into a chorus or a bridge. So now we've got our 8-bar phrase, and we're just gonna loop that. And now let's kind of focus on the sound of the drums. I just opened up the stock drummer kit in Logic, but maybe you want more of kind of a old school R&B, fat back, kind of a more dead drum sound. The current drum kit's kind of a big rock sound. It's a little too much. So to change up your drum sounds in Drummer, you just double click on the input where the instrument is, and you'll see right now this is the current kit, and we want something a little more kind of retro, thuddy. That's kind of cool. Maybe a little too boomy in the kick, but you can actually swap out kick drums. So if you double click on the kick, you'll see some different options here. That's cool. I like the third one, but let's dampen it a bit. So now you'll see there's an option to dampen the kick, so you can kind of get that nice dead thumpy sound. Okay, cool, so that kick drum is kind of where I was hoping for it to be. Let's focus on the snare drum sound now. So if we double click on the snare, again you'll see there's some options to choose some different snares. So this is kind of the stock retro rock one. Let's try the second one. That's cool, it's a little dark, but again another cool feature is you can tune, pitch things up a little bit, and maybe deaden this just a little more. And I want to bring it up in the mix, so I can turn the gain up just a little bit. And then the hi-hat, let's look at that sound a little bit. So you double click on that. Not as many options, but again, you can pitch it up or pitch it down. Cool, so I'm kind of happy with that as kind of a retro-y soul, funk vibe. So now that you're doing the MIDI loops and you've got your acoustic kit, another cool trick is to, if you want to layer something during the chorus or the bridge, take the exact same set of loops that you're working with and double the sounds with something completely different. So you'll get the groove, locked in note for note, but you'll be triggering some completely different sounds. So I'm gonna take the same loop that we had, it's groove number 9 here, and I'm gonna lay it. I opened up a one of the drum samplers here, the Ultra Beat in Logic, and let's just loop that same phrase we did, and the same fill too, which was fill number 4. So now you can already hear it coming in, and it's got the fill in there. So now it has the exact same arrangement as the acoustic kit, and you can mix it in. Right now the African kit's a little loud. And the great thing again with MIDI is you can choose whatever sound source you want. So you can kind of scroll through some presets. Right now it's this African kit. Let's just try some totally random things. Electric dub. And then again, here comes the fill. Fizzy beats. So you can experiment all day long getting different drum sounds. And of course you can go in, whoa, that is a little crazy. Let's get that a little more mellow. Wow. Down tempo. That's cool. That's kind of a nice mix with the acoustic kit. And just to beef it up a little bit, or if you solo it, and then bring the acoustic drums on top. So you can start to see arrangement ideas here. You could start the song just with the acoustic drums, and then bump these loops over to the 9th measure, and then again just keep carrying the same phrase that we had here. Extend that, oops, wrong track, over there. So intro starts with just the acoustic drums grooving, and when it gets to the fill here, then everything kind of comes in for a verse. So that's it, just experiment with MIDI. You get the the live grooves of a drummer, but you have the flexibility of pulling in any sampled sound, whether it's electronic or acoustic, and layering it where it's exactly in time, exactly in sync with the humanized loops from the loop loft that we record on a real drum set. But you have the flexibility of whatever sounds you might want to use. And it's easier to share the files since they're much smaller MIDI files if you're collaborating with somebody. You just need the sounds that are being triggered in the DAW. So hopefully this answers some questions and inspires you to experiment and start creating some new grooves using these loops. So just give me a shout if you have any questions here on the blog or on YouTube or wherever you happen to be seeing this. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon. All right, later.